in many parts of the United States, it's treated in a very similar way as beer. I think it's a good comparison. So what's happening is really this mass acceptance, this destigmatization of cannabis in many parts of the US.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is John Keeber. He is the CEO of Nevis Brands. And John, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Doing great, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so a couple of pieces of news I got to talk to you about. First off, just off the wire, very exciting news that you've signed an agreement with Z or Z, depending which country you're in, ZT Distribution, to talk a little bit about making your product available in what they have almost 1,000 grocery stores. Incredible.
Yeah, it's a really pivotal deal for our company. In the past, we've mostly operated within the dispensary market with our product Major. Hemp-derived THC really opens up a whole new world to us where we're able to sell cannabis products in the same places where you'd find soft drinks, groceries, fruit, etc. So ZT has a long storied history, over 100-year history, very well established, very well respected distributor in the Midwest United States. And we couldn't be happier to be partnered with them. It's a big moment for us.
Yeah, we're talking about Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, places like that. And so, talk to me a little bit about demand and that. Do you feel that this product will do very well in those particular markets? Are you seeing some sort of some word on the ground of why this is so key?
Yeah, for some of your viewers who aren't familiar with the U.S. dynamic with cannabis, you have the
Yeah.
dispensary market where people show driver's license identification, et cetera, et cetera. Like people in Canada, I think, are used to as well. It's sort of like going to a liquor store. It's a very controlled environment.
Yeah.
With hemp-derived THC, these are low-dose cannabis beverages, but in many parts of the United States, it's treated in a very similar way as beer. I think it's a good comparison. So what's happening is really this mass acceptance, this destigmatization of cannabis in many parts of the US. And we're not the first brand to be going to Wisconsin and Minnesota and so forth. This is a bigger trend that thankfully we're a big part of.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, grocery stores, but also independent retailers and convenience stores, I would imagine as well. Which, if you've been to the United States and into a convenience store, as you said, you can buy beer and things like that. So there's obviously some demand in the market there. When do you expect these products to be available?
So we are producing our second run of Happy Apple. We've been producing a 5 milligram version. This is a 10 milligram version, which is more suited for this market. That production is happening in the first week of August, and we're hoping to have our initial purchase orders for this round in mid-August and be in market. So we're excited with the whole new range of other marketing opportunities, people doing demos, end caps in stores, things along those lines. So again, more of a CPG style endeavor for us, less of a controlled environment. And the one thing I just might add is it's a shift for us in our financial model. In the past, we've only been collecting royalties on our products. This is something where we actually control the production, we control the wholesale pricing, and collect the top line of the wholesale revenue. So we think it could have a strong impact on our financials going forward.
Okay. And speaking of those, you just released your second quarter financial numbers, seeing quarter over quarter revenue growth. You had some one-time payments within there as well, kind of skewed the numbers in a certain way. So overall, you're pretty happy with where you're at?
Pretty happy. We saw some modest growth. Unfortunately, what's happened with the US dollar over the last 3 months has hurt us. We earn in the US, we translate our results into Canadian dollars. So while we grew revenue, we grew some EBITDA, we actually got hit with a decent charge on the translation. So hopefully that's a one-time thing. Hopefully the currencies are stabilized, but that was the one drag on an otherwise decent quarter.
And you mentioned just in there, last question about really trying to keep an eye on cost disciplines and also trying to really drive the EBITDA part of it. Those are the things that you have goals for the next quarter, right?
We think that's the name of the game of the cannabis. I mean, the hype in the cannabis segment is not what it used to be, as we all know. We're really being fiscally responsible. We're focused pretty heavily on cost management, but at the same time, this opportunity to grow some of our top line revenue is pretty exciting.
All right, we'll leave it there. John, thanks so much. Congratulations on this initial deal that we talked about. Very exciting, and I look forward to our next conversation, okay?
Thanks so much, Steve. I appreciate it.
All right, John Keeber, the CEO of Nevis Brands.